Hey, I'm Steve.
And I'm Kristen Thomas, and we're the Thomas Group, your local Las Vegas and Henderson realtors.
We're here to bring you your 2019 Las Vegas and Henderson real estate market update for the month of September. Hey guys, so we are here today in the district, which is a really cool little shopping center associated with Green Valley Ranch in Henderson. If you haven't been here, come and swing by. It's got a really lovely ambiance. There's loads of great shops, bars, restaurants, tree-lined streets, got really nice landscaping, and it's attached to the casino at the end.
Yeah.
So if you want to go in, maybe test your luck after your wife spent all your money, go ahead and test your luck down there in Green Valley Ranch.
Hey, and also we are getting a Sephora here, which I'm super excited about.
Sephora, what is that?
Yeah, it's a makeup shop.
Okay, great. Yeah. I won't be visiting that one.
Yeah, you wouldn't
But you might
understand.
find me in the casino when you're in there.
Right. All right, so let's get into the numbers then.
Sounds good.
Okay, so the median home price last month inched up just a little bit, up to $305,000.
Good.
Yeah, it's good. So it's actually up 3.4% from last year. So again, we are seeing very slow and steady growth, and that's a sign of a healthy market.
That's what you want, right? We don't want to be on that roller coaster path. I mean, it's nice getting those, multiple digit appreciations, but it's not necessarily healthy. Market
Right.
still seems to be, pretty strong, but level.
Yeah, exactly. And for those of you that are interested in the condo and townhome numbers, the median sales price last month was $177,000. Again, up just a little bit from last month and up 4.1% from last year. So we're seeing some great steady appreciation. Now, our current inventory, so the homes that are on the market that you would be looking at if you were shopping, they are up 33.5%
Wow.
from last year. And this is what we've been seeing kind of throughout the whole summer. They're really up. And for our condos and townhomes, the inventory is up 57.1%.
We'll get into this in a few moments, but this is a really great time for buyers. Typically for sellers, the springtime is really great, but moving up into the winter months is awesome for buyers. And with having more inventory on the market, just gives you more option, gives you more wiggle room in your negotiating. But we'll dig a little bit deeper into why it's a good time to buy right now in a few moments.
Yeah, absolutely. So then along the same lines, and this is just going to prove to you why it's good for you as a buyer currently. The units sold for single family homes, it's pretty stagnant from last month, but it's up 3.1% from last year. So we're not seeing, if you can imagine, the inventory is up 33%, but the actual sales are only up 3%. So, that's a big discrepancy, and that's why you have a lot more homes to pick from. For our condo and townhome peeps, we are up 5.9% from last month on units sold, so we saw a little bump. But from last year, the sales are down 5.1%, which is interesting.
Yeah. We saw it's been strange this year. I feel with condo and townhome sales, it's been peaks and troughs.
Yeah, it has. Been noticing that with their updates, but yeah, you can really see then why it's a great time to buy with all the extra inventory, interest rates. We talked about this every month, but.
Yeah, I was going to mention that later, in another
Right.
good reason to buy. But as you hit on it, when we might get interest rates going lower, they might go higher. Who's got a crystal ball? But all we can tell you is they're as low as they've pretty much ever been right now. So really good time to take advantage of that.
Absolutely. And then, hey Steve, I thought that this was a really interesting statistic too, because I love numbers.
She does.
Yeah.
Super analytical.
I do. So this past month, 22.7% of all local properties were purchased with cash. It's down just a touch from last year, but 2 years ago, in February 2013, when we were really at the peak of the crash, cash purchases were making up 60% of all sales. So when we're seeing the 22% of all properties being purchased in cash, I think that's really healthy. A lot of those are investors, right?
Yeah, I'd say the majority are probably investors, which just shows you that when investors have faith in putting their money into the Las Vegas real estate market, and they're showing it just with the the cash buyers there. That's pretty healthy. If they weren't, they'd be getting a little worried, maybe, right?
Right. Yeah, absolutely. And then one more interesting indicator that I found is distressed sales are near historically low levels. Foreclosures and short sales accounted for just 2.1% of all sales last month. So that's really low. We were seeing that number really spike during the recession. So that's a great indicator. A couple more things I wanted to talk about before Steve gets into the interesting stuff is days on market. So for single family residences, we're seeing that at 46 days on average. In condos and townhomes, 49 days on market. And that's up from last year, but pretty standard from what we've been seeing throughout the whole summer. Okay, now the one last thing is months of inventory. So the months of inventory, as we always talk about, right, it's kind of is a good indicator of if the market favors buyers or
sellers. Yeah.
Right. And so we are seeing for the market as a whole, 2.6 months of inventory.
And just for those of you that might be wondering what that means, like 2.6 months of inventory, if we kept selling the houses at the same rate that we're selling them, and we didn't list anything else, all of the inventory would be gone in 2.6 months.
At the current demand. Yeah.
And for those of you that are wondering what a balanced market is, between about 4 and 6 months. They say neither really favors the buyer nor the seller. So
exactly.
This is still on a whole favoring the seller.
Right.
But real estate is very local. So what really caught my eye, Kristen, when I was looking at these numbers was the fact that the lowest amount of inventory in any of the communities is 2 months.
2 months, exactly.
So that's really heavily favoring the seller. And the most is 25.
That's
so it's like
high.
10 times as much. But when I look deeper into that community, just so you know, if you're interested, is McDonald Highlands. And in McDonald Highlands here in Henderson, the average sales price there is like $2.1 million. Mm-hmm. So that's a luxury market, and there isn't the same amount of buyers in that market as there are in the $250,000 to $300,000 range.
Right.
For me, it's going to be really interesting in seeing what happens coming into the winter months, because historically it's not the best time to sell a house, but as I was mentioning before, it is the best time to buy. So yeah, one of the reasons it's a great time to actually buy a house right now is because, well, first of all, there's not as much competition,
right,
as there has been throughout the the summer months and through spring, but those homeowners that have put their house on the market needing to sell it in the springtime, in the summertime, and they've overpriced it, quite frankly, and it's sitting on the market, they're not getting any offers. They're not getting any action.
Getting nervous.
And they're getting nervous. And, as an aggressive agent, we leverage that. Mm-hmm. And, we can really try and capitalize on that and, make sure that we get you the best value as possible. So that's definitely a really, really great time for a buyer right now.
Absolutely. And then Steve, you'd come up with some interesting articles that you came across this week, right?
Yeah. In North Las Vegas, it used to be known as, it used to have a bit of a bad reputation. There was crime, drug dealing and stuff like that. And it's really, really turned around. Now, I'm not saying that there's, every area is perfect. There's bad places at every
exactly.
place, right? But what's really interesting about North Las Vegas is the amount of builders that have moved up there now have really driven a lot of buyers up there,
right,
and taken a lot of buyers out of other communities in like the Southwest where there was a lot of new construction, and now they're driving them up to North Las Vegas because you're getting a lot of bang for your buck.
Right.
And the reason that they can give you a lot of bang for your buck is because land prices are approximately 25% cheaper up in North Las Vegas than they are down in the Southwest. What is also interesting is the mayor of Las Vegas. He's actually really being proactive in changing the whole of the city itself.
Right.
And he's streamlined the process for all of the builders for the applications to get permits to build. So he's made it really, really easy. That's driven a lot of the builders up there. But the really interesting fact that I found was that for every community that's sold out in the Southwest, currently they're building another community.
Right, they
so
just
it's
replace one with, okay.
1 for 1.
Right.
Up in North Las Vegas, for every community sold, there's 9 communities being built.
Wow.
Isn't that mad?
That is developing fast.
Yeah, it really is developing fast. And, you know, I think that, I mean, again, who's got a crystal ball? But I think that for bang for your buck and for, you know, further value down the road, North Las Vegas is a place that you should really consider. Aliante, as an example,
Right.
has been ranked the number 4th master planned community in the whole of the United States.
Wow.
That's up in North
Yeah.
Las Vegas, so absolutely check that out.
Speaking of bang for your buck, what was that number that you compared for home prices, new builds?
Yeah, so if you take, let's just say you take the same house in the Southwest and then you put the same house up in a community in North Las Vegas, difference in price is going to save you about 50 grand.
It's a lot of money.
So that's it's a big saving, yeah.
Right.
You know, if you don't have to be in a certain area, you know, because of the school district or, you know, for work-related purposes, then, you know, absolutely consider it. And if you want any more information on North Las Vegas, just reach out and we'd love to send you everything that we've got. The very last thing that we'll mention that I'd like to talk about just very briefly before we wrap up the market update is, you may have heard about this already, BlueTech Park.
Yeah.
Have you heard about this, Kristen?
I have. It sounds
Pretty,
so cool.
isn't it pretty wild?
Yeah.
So BlueTech Park is a $7.5 billion investment that's going to be happening. Now, they haven't actually, at the time of this recording of the video, told us where they're going to be breaking ground, but we've heard on the grapevine that it's going to be south of the Strip, just south of the South Point Casino there, and it's over 100 acres. And this BlueTech Park development is going to be the first of its kind in the whole world, where it's going to have, they call it net zero emissions. So basically it's self-contained. This is going to be like a community. I can't even say it's a building, because inside of it they're going to have luxury residences.
Yeah, shops.
They're going to be having shops in the offices and buildings.
Everything.
But listen to this. This is really crazy. 2 really crazy things.
Yeah.
The floor, as you walk on the floor, it creates energy that powers the rest of the building.
Right. Yeah. I don't even understand that.
And the thing that I don't even understand is this. Listen to this. Tell me if you understand this. It's built with self-healing concrete.
Oh, I hadn't heard that. What?
What does that even mean?
I don't know. Interesting.
So we're gonna find
Wow.
out, but this is gonna be totally wild. Google it, you guys. The BlueTech Park in Las Vegas. It's gonna be really, really interesting to see.
Yeah.
So there's lots of cool development going on here in town. A really exciting time to be, you know, a member of the community here. And yeah, if you've enjoyed our market update, we would absolutely love it if you give us a like and hit the subscribe button down there. We'll continue to bring you some information on living in Las Vegas real estate. And if you've got any, you know, topics that you'd like us to cover, any areas of town of interest, then by all means let us know, and we'll go out there and we'll put something together for you.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for watching, guys. We'll see you next time.
Bye-bye.